Okay, it's 8:37 a.m. on September 24th. I can't believe it, but it's been 1 month since I have been back. And yeah, I slept from 4:30. The fuck? I slept from 4:30 to 8:30 or 8:35, but I didn't immediately fall asleep. I couldn't fall asleep immediately. So I slept for less than 4 hours. That's great. Um yeah. Um I did finish the film though last night. I finished the film and watched 2 episodes of anime. But in turn I sleep less and there's more I needed to do today. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be staying outside the whole day today. Like school, it's probably gonna be a 10 a.m. to like a 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. kind of thing. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna try my best to be productive. Even so, um, yeah. Oh, my hair is such a mess. I'm just so tired. But today should be chill. Um, it's just Asian horror and then David Lynch class, so it's not like, you know, tomorrow or Friday, which is less chill. Um, but yeah, I really need to fix my sleep schedule. If I can fall asleep at 3 a.m., if I can go to bed at 3 a.m. tonight, that would be great. Yeah. That's it. Nothing else to report. Oof. Let me in. Whew, there we go.
I mean, he's always been David Lynch, but this one seems to bring so much of this together. It's all working, and it's got narrative, it's got character.
Movies later, I got a phone call one day, and I was working up in the Bay Area in Marin, and
Oh, Dokali. Time now is 2:35 a.m. in the morning. It's late. I'm exporting a vid. So I'm gonna try to be quick. Today is busy day. I was outside pretty much for like 13 hours. I didn't have a lot of sleep, 4 hours, less than four. And even though I slept for like full night's sleep in the last 2 days, and you think I'm recharged enough so that I'm able to withstand a 4 hour sleep day. False. I was so sleepy the entire day. I arrived at my Asian horror class, I sat down, and I got a little anxious. I was like, oh, what if Audrey doesn't show up today? But Audrey does show up today and sat next to me again. And we went through the whole class and we watched the Korean film R Point. And it was meh. I almost fell asleep in the beginning, honestly. And I was like zoning in and out. And again, it's crazy. Usually I'm fully awake in morning screenings, and then night screenings I'm like falling asleep. But when I'm also falling asleep in the morning, something's very wrong. So that's basically me today. And yeah, just very tired. But yeah, I got to talk with Audrey a little bit more. The first thing she says was, my sleep schedule is really bad. And I'm like, what? She asked me when did I go to bed, and I'm like 4:30. And she's like, and I asked her when did she go to bed, and she's like 7:30. And I'm like, what? Or like 7 a.m. I was like, what? How? How are you alive? I don't know if that's a lie or not, because she seemed okay. She doesn't seem that disheveled. But she's like, oh, my sleep schedule is ruined. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I asked her if she slept for 2 hours, and she's like, maybe less. And I'm like, how? So yeah, we watched the movie, and yeah, that's basically it. And then after class, I wanted to talk to her more, but she went to talk to the professor, to the Vietnamese professor, and so me and Andrew, we left, and then me and Andrew, we talked a little bit, and then he left, and now I'm completely alone, solo YOLO. So solo YOLO. So yeah, I had about 3-ish hours to kill, before I head over to Michaela Asher's garage to help with Starman's PD with Jordan. And usually I'd go back home, but today I decided not to. I went to Kava to buy a small lunch. And as I walked over there, I ran into Toll, the Thai guy, and we had a pretty lengthy conversation about films and Cannes Film Festival. Yeah, went to Kava, bought a bunch of food, and then went back to SCA third floor, had that meal, feeling chill, feeling good. And then after the meal, went to take the elevator. It was around maybe 3:45, and so I have about like an hour and 15 minutes to go around campus. Now, why do I have to go around campus? Well, it's because I need to hunt down, I need to search for different types of chair rails, base moldings, door casing, window casing, glazed doors, unglazed doors, and window types, and wainscots. These are things I need to find and take photos of for my PD class. So anyways, I went to the elevator, and lo and behold, Giant shows up. I don't even need to figure out if it's her or not. I now have the ability to recognize her even though her back is turned against me. And in my head, I'm just like, oh, I really wish I'm not running into her. But she is there, and she is nice. So I got into the elevator, and I was like, hey. And she turned around, and she's like, oh my god, hey, how's it going? Where did you come from? And at that point, I was like, third floor. Which is such a fucking funny answer. And she's like, no, but like, what did you do? And I'm like, oh, I finished class and I had lunch. And she's like, oh, I was gonna ask about her. But she basically, like, I left the building with her, and we talked more as we walked out. And we walked all the way from SCA to the little turning point across the Leon gym, and then she left. So basically, she's going to a concert later today, and I was like, whose concert? And she's like, Amine. And I'm like, well, great, have fun. And then she left. Pretty small conversation, but again, this is so fucking crazy that, last time with Leslie, when I gave up on Leslie, it's like done. But like this time, I gave up on her, but she's still there, And so it's so weird because I really don't know what to say. I don't know. Again, in her perspective, I'm just a friendly guy. Like, she doesn't know I like her, apparently, and then, which is, again, baffling to me. I thought she's smarter than this. Yeah, so, I don't know. It's just kind of sad. We talked a little bit about, like, just the set last Sunday. It was really intense. But yeah, we never really have a good conversation. Like, me and John, we can never really have a good, long conversation. Every time we are able to talk, we can only talk very briefly. Even the time in Hong Kong. So, that's just really sad. I don't know how I should tell her that I like her. other than saying things like, "You're very interesting to talk to, you look good today," which are things I never say to other girls. But somehow when I say it to her, it's like the wind to her. Like, she doesn't even take that seriously, because a lot of people probably say that to her as well. But honestly, at this point, with Jayun, I don't really know. I think, again, as per my plan, I'm going to tell her my true feelings a couple of weeks later, and then that's it, and then we're done. And then I give up. We're done. But I do want to at least impress her, charm her, despite knowing that I have no chance. Just for shits and giggles, just for fun. I just want to toy with her feelings for fun, basically. In the next couple of weeks, if every time I run into her, I'm able to like charm her and schmarm her, and it's all a performance, by the way. I genuinely like her, but I'm also sad and depressed and lonely and empty, and I know she'll say no to me. I know she'll reject me. But I'm still gonna just pretend that everything's okay and try to charm her, rizz her up, and be all cool and energetic around her, knowing that it's all a performance. I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna perform the hell out of the next 2 weeks. And I don't know why. I think it's because I just want to cherish the last, I guess, couple of weeks before I tell her my true feelings and ruin everything and burn the bridge. I just want to cherish what I have with her and have fun with that. So yeah. But she looks average today. She's wearing glasses and her clothes are not that flashy. It's so interesting because in the last semester she wears fancier clothes and she wears makeup and she looks way nicer. But now, less so, and I think that's because she realizes that if she dresses too nice, she's going to attract a lot of attention. And that's crazy. To purposefully dumb yourself down just so that people will stop like bothering you. Pretty fucking crazy. Yeah, okay, anyways, enough about Jayun. Don't really want to think about it right now. I went around the fucking campus, north and south. I went to the PE building. I went to the Annenberg building. I went to Grace Salvatore Hall. I actually walked past River 340 class with the cool professor in a suit, and maybe Audrey's in that class right now. Who knows? I actually walked past that classroom, and it's a different classroom from the one I had last semester. And then I went to I went to the philosophy library, which is all the way south of campus, and then I walked to Doheny Library. I walked to the Levy Library. And then after Levy, I went back to SCA, and I was finally able to find all the photos, but it was tough. Wainscots, man. Chair rails and wainscots are so difficult to find. And then afterwards, I rested a little bit more, and then it's right on time. It's 5:50. No, it's 4:50, and so I walked over to Michaela Ash's garage, and then I arrived there at 5. There were a bunch of people there. Madison is there. Ethan Go is there. Gabe the Gaffer is there. And then Octavian showed up for a little bit. Thomas Fitzgerald was there for a little bit. And Liv, the other RPA, was there. And we all just helped build some flats, even though I didn't do much, which I feel bad about. But I was there for an hour. And then I clocked out. At 5:50 I left. I walked to the Lynch class. And I was all sweaty, and I sat down, and right next to Garrett, and surprisingly, not a lot of people showed up today. I thought Asir and Emma and Arjun will all show up. They didn't. I thought it's going to be a great gathering, but no. Tiger was in the back, but Jacob and Justin T eventually showed up. But yeah, during break, Audrey shows up. Audrey, the Asian girl. And she's wide awake. Which is, again, I'm surprised. I don't know how she's able to do that. She sat next to me and we watched Blue Velvet together. It's her first Lynch film. Now, I'd love to share this experience with Jaehyun. I think she's already seen a David Lynch film. Or maybe she hasn't. I don't know. But, Audrey watched her first David Lynch film with me. And I just wish that was Jaehyun. And I even introduced the film to her, and I think she enjoyed it. I don't know, but I enjoyed it for sure. And then after the class, Audrey immediately left. And then I was like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "I'm going home." And I'm like, "Oh yeah," because she walked opposite direction. So I walked away with Anya and Garrett, and we talked, and Garrett talked about Lynch, and then it was nice and cool. And then that's pretty much it. And then I took a lift back home, had dinner, took a shower, and then that's pretty much it, and it's already late as fuck. I really want to go to bed early because tomorrow I will perhaps wake up at 9. Yes. So, yeah, I think 9. Because I'm gonna wake up early to help out with Jordan's PD at the Michaela Ash garage. And I'm gonna have a big breakfast, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be eating dinner outside as well. I talked with Luis a little bit. Luis, if you remember him, apparently he's getting paid to travel to Alaska for a week next week. To film something for this AI company, which is bleh, but he needs money. He's getting paid $2,400. I am paying nearly $90,000 every single year for USC, and I just lost my fucking job. If anyone needs money, I need money. I really, really hope that one day I will just run into a bag of cash on the ground. I desperately need money, and if push comes to shove, I'm going to kill people for money. I'm going to sell drugs or kill people. And it's just so unfair. People who don't need that much money is getting, all the best to Luis, but I'm talking about society in general. I need money, okay? I need money, and I need money desperately, and it's so unjust that I need it more than some others, yet some others are receiving more than me. So hopefully, if my YouTube gets monetized, if I get a good job next semester, and if I take a couple of good verticals, get invited to a shoot that is paid, under the table, get some cash, hopefully I make some buck next semester. This semester I'm going broke, but hopefully next semester I make some good bucks. So, yeah. God fucking damn, it's a cruel world. It's a cruel fucking world. I just edited my birthday video, and despite the fact that the last few days of my school life has been okay emotionally, I looked at my birthday video again and I realized how depressed I was that day. All alone birthday, no one to celebrate with. I go down, I run into drug addicts, I run into the homeless, I watch the police arrest the drug addict, I have dinner alone by myself. Just so fucking pathetic, and I don't know how to. I almost forgot how pathetic I am sometimes, But yeah, what's gone is gone. Let's heads held high. Heads held high. Forgot to mention that I also got rejected from the LA Student Film Festival. And I don't fucking care anymore. Doesn't even hurt me anymore. Reject me all you want, fuck me all you want, gut me all you want, impale me all you want, stab me all you want. I feel nothing anymore. I don't even feel pain anymore. Fuck you, fuck me. Why am I angry? Stop being angry. There's nothing to be angry about. It's the birthday video that's making me angry. I'm good. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine, okay? Okay, time now is 9:29 a.m. in the morning on September 25th. Yes, yes. I slept from 4:15 to 9:15 and then went to sleep for 10 more minutes. So yeah, slightly better than yesterday because it's 5 hours, but still not a lot. But I did watch one episode of anime last night. But yeah, it's so, I give myself things to do at night after dinner, and I never finish them. I think after dinner is like guaranteed. It's not happening. But yeah, not so productive. Didn't edit much. Um, yeah. So that's that. So I'm waking up a little extra early today. So that I could leave early to help Jordan with PD for Starman. And I also want to have a big breakfast, and then head over to a motion picture script analysis. Now I have an interesting update, and that is I may leave that class early and come back home and make myself dinner because I have 2 pieces of salmon in my fridge right now, and I don't want them to stink up and be gross. And yeah, that's the whole reason why I want to come home. If I eat dinner outside today, tomorrow it'll also be dinner outside. Saturday it would already be too late. The fish is gonna stink. Yeah, because on Saturday I will have film set and I will be eating lunch outside, and then dinner is gonna be super late, and I wouldn't even want to make dinner. And also, by then, the fish is gonna stink, so I have to eat it today. So, yeah, so I may just leave the class early, come back home, and have dinner, and change into nicer clothes. Yeah, change into nicer clothes so that tonight there's a Click to View party. So, yeah, come back home, make myself dinner, and then go back out for the PD class, and then after the PD class at 10 p.m., I'm gonna head over to the Click to View party, which starts at 9, but I'm gonna be there at 10, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully, I don't look great at all for the party. I look like shit, but it's fine. And that's pretty much it. I'm really tired, and I'm gonna fall asleep. So, yeah, great stuff. Okay, time now is 2:35 a.m. in the morning. It's super duper late. But yeah, today's a long fucking day again. As expected, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and the next 2 days will be extremely long. So today I was literally outside from like 11 a.m. to like 12:45 after midnight, basically. And it has so many multiple parts, and I'm just so tired. I barely have time to do anything, and that's kind of scary, actually. So the day started off with me going to Michaela Ash Garage to help Jordan with the PD for Starman, and yeah, I promised her I will be there at 11, but I ended up arriving there at like 11:50 because I was like, well, I'm too early. I don't need to go, you know, I don't need to go that early. But eventually I texted Jordan. I said I'll be there, and then yeah, I um yeah, and Jordan's like, "Oh no, I'm at home right now gathering supplies." I'm like, "Oh, that's okay." So I took a bus, and instead I went all the way to Ralph's, and I bought some paper plates, which are over here, because I need to use them for my acrylic painting, which is due tomorrow, which is due fucking how many hours later? 10 hours later? 9 hours later, actually. I just realized it's due 9 hours later, and I'm barely working on it. So that's kind of fucked up. I may need to draw, like, right fucking now at 3 a.m. More on that later. But anyways, I went to Ralph's and walked back, and by the time I arrived at Michaela Ash's garage, it was already 11:50, and I helped out for about 50 minutes. And I was moving flats, and I assembled some pieces of metal, and then I was out. I can't do it anymore. Again, I feel kind of bad that I'm not helping enough, but yeah, at the same time, it's like I'm just a set dresser. I don't have to feel that much of a responsibility. But yeah. Halfway through working, I was expecting Toll, the Thai guy, Toll, the Thai guy, to show up. He did eventually, about halfway through me helping out, so that's cool. And then I walked to school. I went to motion picture script analysis class. And I was there 2 minutes late. I was right on time to see the attendance code, immediately put it into my phone, and then immediately going to the bathroom to wash my very dirty hands, and then sit on the lecture. And once again, I was like super sweaty. And then we watched Whiplash today, and holy shit, it's great. It's a rewatch. I loved it. But again, the plan was for me to immediately go home. So immediately after the film ended, I just left. I just went off. So yeah, I went off, returned home, and I realized that the professor might be talking about the midterms, which is important because that's literally fucking next week. But no, I'm at home. So I arrived home at 4:45, and I had enough time to have lunch and edit an anime review, which is great. And the lunch slash dinner is basically salmon, some salad kit, and then some pasta, which is big, which is dinner size. And then I went to the PD class, and I was late because the bus decided to be 15 minutes late. The bus was 15 minutes late, but I didn't really care that much, so I was late for like 9 minutes, and it was okay. And yeah, the class today, we were drawing floor plans today. That's the whole class, and it was nice. And then I came back. No, I didn't come back home. At 10 p.m., I was walking with Christian R. And I and Christian R, we talked a lot. Sydney was also there, and it's cool that Sydney, like, I'm seeing Sydney, and it's like seeing a comrade. You know, we just went to battle together or something. And Sydney felt the same way. But yeah, it was fine. It was fun. And then I walked. And then at night, there's the Click to View party. And so I finally arrived there at 10:20 p.m. And it was kind of awkward. I don't like parties. I don't like socializing. But if Colin, Garrett, and Anya are there, which are the three people I know, I think I'll be fine. And yeah, I did pretty fine. I went there. It's like I forgot to film any videos. That's crazy. But it's basically the little courtyard of Garrett's house, and we just talked and drank, and that's it. And it went on and on until like 12:45 after midnight, when Garrett was like, "Yeah, it's late. Everyone, please go home." Which is crazy. I wanted to leave early. I wanted to show up for like half an hour, but I ended up staying there for like 2 hours and 20 minutes, which is crazy. Typical Enoch, you know. I end up staying longer than I should, and I even, like, there was a thought back in my head thinking, oh, you know, I'm gonna go back to Michaela Ash's garage and help out, but I decided not to because I'm hungry. I haven't had dinner. But yeah, so the crew mixer was interesting. I met a bunch of people. I met this Chinese girl. I assume she's Chinese. And she has like crazy makeup and like a edgy machine girl shirt. And and she has a very high pitched voice. You can tell she's one of those crazy art girls. And I think she's dating this black guy, Nobi or Norbert, which I'm going to talk about later. And then I got to talk with Rachel a little bit, Anya's sister. I saw Colin and Garrett, and they're both super friendly with me. Garrett, in fact, wrote like a little like welcome card, like a little welcoming card, like a birthday card, but like welcome to the Click to View, welcome to the club. So that was really cool. Yeah, I talked with a bunch of people. There's this guy, his name is Riley, and he followed me on Instagram. Apparently he's a freshman. He's like 18, and he's in film production. I was like, what the fuck? I'm 5 years older than him. And, we followed each other, and I was like, oh, there's this girl who is a reporter who interviewed me. And he's like, what? Holy shit. You're the guy who made, like, the Hong Kong film? And I was like, what? You were there? Turns out he was there, and he saw my short film, and now we're here. So that's crazy. And he loved my short film, he said. And then, yeah, what else? I finally got to talk to Rachel Shin, who is this Korean-American, I assume? Korean-American girl whom I've known of since spring 2024, like almost 2 years ago. But I never spoke to her. But I know that she's somehow caught up with like Anya and Colin and co. So I finally got to speak to her, and we called a lift, and we somehow ended up in the same lift, so we talked. And she's this really energetic girl who just talks a lot. And then I like that half the people there are not dressed up in a super fancy edgy way, because then I would feel bad because I look like shit, even though I try my best to look good. But yeah, I smoked weed. I hit on a weed blunt twice. It's the first time I've had weed in like a whole year, so that's that. And I drank seltzer, and I finally got to meet Nobi, whom I've seen and I've heard the name of many times. And I told him how I know him, and he was like drunk or high or something. He was like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, I'm Enoch. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm Nobi. And he's like, how do you know me? And I'm like, I started explaining, oh, you're in Katie's trio. And he's like, oh, more than that. I live with her. And I'm like, okay. And then I told him that my friend Jonathan sent me a TikTok, and it's his TikTok. And he's like, oh yeah, that thing blew up. And then I told him that he directed a video, and the main character is like Douglas, and Douglas is also acted in my hotel shoot in 290, and also the colorist of that video is also my friend. And he's like, oh yeah, that film. And then he asked me what major. I'm like, cams. And he's like, and then he just left, and he never spoke to me. And I know it's like jokey and stuff, but like that felt a little insulting, because I know there's a stigma that like film production people hate cams people, and that kind of just adds to it, But I think I don't know. I think there really is room for cams and production people to like team up. But yeah, that's basically it. And and the fact that I'm crewing on a 480 and then a 310 and then a 508 and another 310. I'm basically in production. I'm basically kind of production-ish, adjacent. So, yeah. And then not much else. Right off the bat in the morning, there was an email about after the hunt. And I immediately signed up to it. And I sent it to Toll, and he signed up to it. And I sent it to Justin T, and Justin T didn't see it. And when he wanted to sign up, it was over. And then I was like, I should like send a screenshot to Audrey, the Asian girl, or Jayun. The thing is, like, me trying to be closer to Audrey, the Asian girl, and like tell her to come to screenings and stuff, feels like an act of vengeance. on, I guess, what Jayun did to me, or unknowingly did to me, I guess. So it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, and I eventually did send it to Jayun, and she didn't even read my message. So I sent it to Audrey. Audrey read it, and Audrey's like, "Oh, I have class," but yeah, just I don't know. I don't know. Again, like what I said yesterday, I'm gonna try to charm Jayun if that's even possible. I'm gonna try to be playful and have fun and just be confident around her. But truth be told, game's already over, and apparently Jayun saw one battle after another with Reggie and Sundiata. I talked with Reggie a little bit today during break in a motion picture class, and yeah, it's just and again, why isn't Colin like jealous or anything that are like at least suspicious that Jayun's hanging out with all these people? It's like I don't know. Jayun never mentioned to me that she's going to see this film. Like I don't know how we just sort of grew apart again, but I think it's meant to be. So yeah, I don't know. I have this acrylic painting due like 9 hours later, and I'm kind of freaking out because I also kind of want to go to bed. And I don't think I have enough time tomorrow morning to paint it unless I do. I'm gonna guess I need maybe 3 hours to do it, minimum. And again, it's so fucking stupid because it's like last art class assignment I did it the day of, and then now it's the same. I literally don't know what to do, so I might work on it just for a bit tonight. But yeah, that's it. Okay, time now is 7:46 a.m. in the morning. On September 26th. I slept from 4:15 to 9:15. Yeah. No, 4:15 to 7:15, right? No, 4:15 to 7:30. Um so yeah, I had to wake up early because I need to give myself some time to do the acrylic painting, which is due in what? How many hours? It's due in 5 hours, due in 4 hours. And I didn't do shit last night. I was too tired. I'm like, it's a waste of time anyways, because I'm too fucking tired. So after watching 2 episodes of anime, I decided to just go to bed. And yeah, I'm so sleepy. I have to sleep early tonight. Because tomorrow's gonna be fucked. Because tomorrow's set. But yeah, so today I need to work on the acrylic painting until 10:30, and then 10:30 I need to head over to Michaela Ash Garage to help move in flats. And then I have my art class, and then I have therapy, and then I'll probably come home, and very briefly Michelle's gonna pick me up. We're gonna go have some food, and then we'll watch Rocky Horror Picture Show. So yeah, I didn't need to sleep for 3 hours. I really don't. But it's that freaking painting, man. I'm waking up after 3 hours just to paint a painting. That is so ridiculous. Yeah, assuming tomorrow's call time is 9 a.m., which means I'll have to wake up around 8. I want to go to bed at like 3 or 2. Yeah, this is fucked. And not much else. Not much else to report. Just it's a shame what happened to Giant. What happened from Giant to me. Just such a shame.
Three, two, one, go.
Let's go. You can open the door. Wow, thank you for letting me go first. You're such a gentleman.
Yes, I am a gentleman. Tim Curry.
Everyone, and good evening, and welcome to the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. We've screened so many of your films here at the museum.
Really?
Yes, we've screened Clue in a tribute that we did to Madeline Kahn. We've screened Legend with the makeup artist here. And then my team is particularly partial to your performance in Home Alone 2.
Thank you.
Needless to say, you have fans here at the museum. You have fans in Los Angeles.
No.
No?
Yo.
It is an honor and a privilege to have you here.
Mine is the honor and privilege. I'm going to grab it back.
You can take it.
Thank you.
So you originated the role of Dr. Frankenfurter on London's West End.
No.
No.
Actually, in a tiny theatre, rather alternative theatre. The Royal Court Theatre in Sloane Square in Chelsea was famous, is famous for introducing the work of new writers. And it has upstairs a tiny 60-seat theatre, which is where we opened.
And that was in 1973?
Something like that.
Yeah. Where, can you speak a bit about what you were doing before you accepted that role, to play Frankenfurter for the first time on the stage?
I had worked there in that theatre once before, as had Pat Quinn, who is in the movie.
And here tonight.
And here tonight, and looking as beautiful as ever.
And you had worked in the theater before Rocky Horror. What were you doing?
I did a show which Jim Sharman, the director of the movie, saw. It had songs, but wasn't exactly a musical. It was directed by a very left-wing lady called and I managed to work up quite a lot of speed in them.
Could you run in the heels?
I could indeed, and do in the movie. That was miraculously steady. I'm surprised I didn't break an ankle, really. But there were different shoes in the movie
Than on stage.
than on stage. They were custom made.
Are there other? I know that the film shot for 5 weeks, if I'm correct. It took 5 weeks.
Well, I'm
to
told
shoot the
it
film.
wasn't short.
Yeah, very short timeline, and so the film.
Your arguments are so aggressive and repetitive. It's like Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Not doing that. If Elon Musk gets to detonate his transgender daughter, I get to detonate his shitty ass. Good job. You can follow basic directions. Give yourselves a round. I am so proud of you. Rule number 3. Janet was Carrie and Nina. Brad was Chris and Z. Rick was Cat.
Okay, right now it's 2:18 a.m. in the morning. Another long fucking day. Yeah, so where do I even fucking start? I woke up after like 3 hours of sleep and I went back to bed. I was like, I can't. I went back to bed for 10 more minutes. I woke up and I'm like, I still can't. So I went back to bed for like 8 more minutes. So at around 8 a.m. I finally woke up. and I gave myself a little chill time, maybe 10 minutes after brushing my teeth, just looking at YouTube, whatever. And then I decided to paint. And I basically had about 2 hours to do it. From about 8:40 to 10:40, I was basically working on the painting just downstairs. And my end result, and voila. Not too bad. Honestly, better than I thought. I think partially because of the colors I use are very vibrant, because I just used it straight out of the acrylic paint. But also, I mean, the patterns, the brushes, it had a good foundation, I guess. But it's not bad. Of course, it's not great. Of course, if I had more time, it would be way better. But still, you know, that's that. So miraculously, I was able to kind of finish the painting right on time, and I even like heated up a bagel and added cream cheese and apricot jam on it and ate 8 chunks of it while painting. And I'm just downstairs at the living room, and like a couple of my roommates walked past me, like Zawan and like what's that guy's name? Joseph? Not Joseph. Andre, right? I don't know why Joseph. Andre. He walked past me, and it's kind of awkward because I don't tell them what's going on, and they probably think I'm doing something weird. But yeah. So at 10:40, I took a bus and I went to Michaela Ash's garage, and I arrived there, and I met this black girl by the name of Shante? Cassandra? I forgot the name again. I'm so bad with names. I'm overloaded with names, but we were there, and then a while later Jordan showed up, unlocked the garage, and then the U-Haul showed up with Sydney in it, and then I basically helped move a bunch of flats inside. And then after like 40 minutes, I left again. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have to go. And I lent Sydney my gloves, so Sydney has it right now. And then I walked all the way over to art class, and I was maybe 2 minutes late, but it's basically right on time. And we had the art class, and holy shit, I'm so sleep deprived. The moment I sat down, I started like dozing off, but I tried my best. I was like, I closed my eyes, and my eyes, like, it takes a long time to open again, and I'm like losing it. You know, I'm losing focus on reality, and it keeps happening throughout the whole day. But yeah, you know, we did some painting criticism, and surprisingly, people like my painting. Someone pointed out, so for the art criticism part, the critique part, the professor would first ask students, like, which painting do you want to point out? Like, which painting caught your eye first? And 3 paintings caught people's eyes in general, and then she would just go in order from like right to left. And my painting caught someone's eye, and then more people joined in and commented on it, on the colors, on the patterns, and so I felt pretty good about it. It's definitely better than my last painting. I think the playing field is a little bit more leveled when it comes to color painting. I don't know why. I have even less experience with color painting. I think that's basically because all of the people there are not great at color painting, but great at like just drawing in general. So yeah. So I was there, and then took a break, and during break I bought myself like a cookie thing, and then I ate it. I was already really hungry. And then the second half of the class, the professor talked about perspective, and oh my god, I was like dozing off. And I know it's really obvious, and I know the professor notices it, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I can't. But yeah, after class I left. I talked with this really tall white guy. Turns out he's like a sophomore. I'm a fucking senior. And again, I come off like a freshman. But yeah. We ended class really early. Our class usually ends at like 2:50, but we ended at 2:05, so we have all this time. So instead, I decided to go to stage 3 and check out what's the progress on Starman. And people are assembling flats and stuff. And I feel kind of bad. I feel like I should be more involved. So I helped move a little bit, I helped drill a little bit, and then I left. I feel like I'm not doing enough. So yeah, I went to my first therapy appointment, my first therapy session, my first official therapy session. Went to the student health center. Took me like 10 minutes to fill in a questionnaire, and then yeah, and then just yeah. So yeah, so I didn't even start therapy until like 3:10 p.m. and it went until like 4 p.m. I took this questionnaire on an iPad and it asked me some like really like personal questions like, have you contemplated suicide? What's your relationship with your family? Have you been bullied, sexually assaulted, etc.? And the thing is, it's recorded. Like I have to put down my name and my student ID and all that shit. But I tried my best to answer honestly. But yeah, and then the therapy started, and again, 40 minutes is not a lot. So the entire therapy session today is just the therapist asking me a bunch of questions, and do you use drugs? Do you use alcohol? Are you suicidal? We spend a lot of time talking about suicide, and it's really interesting because usually when I rant, like such as in videos like these, I just like talk, and I'm in a non-stop stream of thoughts, and I just like talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But when I'm asked these questions, while at the same time I'm trying to be personal, it becomes kind of difficult. I feel like I'm being interviewed, but at the same time I'm trying to be truthful. And also the awkward thing is I feel better this week, actually. So when I told the therapist that, and she was like, oh, well, that's great. I'm happy for you, but we'll check in again next week. But yeah, we talked a lot about suicide because I did admit that I have had some suicidal thoughts, but I think it's very common, honestly. And I never acted on it, so it's not that serious. But I think what's very interesting is the therapist, she said, I think suicidal thoughts are a way for our brain to help us. So it's like a positive thing almost, because when we feel so helpless, when we feel so lost in life, and we feel so down, we need an escape. And the brain tells us to kill ourselves, but it's sort of like a way to like relieve us, Like the brain never really means suicide, it's just more of a relief thing. And then self-harm, it's like, instead of harming yourself because you want to die, it's more of like you want to harm the parts of yourself that you hate. And you want to retain the parts of yourself that you love. So that's a very interesting spin on self-harm. But yeah, we talked and talked and it was nice, and then we booked a bunch of like therapy sessions in the following weeks. So that's that. So kind of helpful. And then she left me with a homework, and the homework is observe myself when I experience a negative situation. What are my thoughts? What are my emotions? And what is my behavior? How do I act on that emotion? So that's that. I don't know why, but today in general I feel a little bit more blue. Maybe it's because it's a cloudy day. And I don't know, thoughts of like Jayun kind of like come back a little bit. And I don't know, just I'm so sad about it, Can't wait to talk to Jayun about this. Can't fucking wait. But yeah, after a therapy session, I decided to go back to stage 3 again. I totally did not have to, but I decided to. And Toll was still there, Toll, the Thai guy, and I talked with him a lot, and I ended up chatting more than I'm working, which made me feel kind of bad. And Jordan, I know she probably doesn't mind that much, but Jordan does seem very stressed, and Jordan would be like, come on, just do this. Nope, can we do that? Okay, can we do this actually? Okay. And I just listened to her. She's like, can you go to the front? And I went to the front, but that's an awkward part when I and Jordan were supposed to move flat. And she's like, no, can you come back? And I'm like, okay. So yeah. But I'm not stupid. I know how to move a flat. But I feel stupid. Um, but yeah, and then I stayed for a little while, and then at around 5 something p.m. I stayed for a whole hour, I guess. Holy shit. 5:15 p.m. because like they keep giving me things to do, like drilling inside a monitor, and yeah, at around 5:45 I kind of left. I ran to the bus stop just to find out that the bus won't come until the next traffic light. Also, the traffic light at like Normandy and Jefferson completely fucked. That traffic light is just fucked. There's no lights. Not Normandy, Jefferson. Normandy and no, it's at Jefferson and McClintock? I don't know. It was just like no lights were working and cars were like honking at each other. It's so dystopian. But yeah, went back home and then I just did nothing. I just like walked around and chilled for a bit. And then 6:10 p.m. Michelle arrives, picked me up. It's the first time I've seen her since June, I believe. No, since like July, I think. But yeah, we talked a little bit, and then we went to McDonald's right next to Academy Museum, and I had McDonald's. And I ate very fast because we were late for the screening. So I went into the theater like 2 minutes before the screening really starts, like 7:30. And by then the place is nearly completely full, and I can't find double seats. So I sat alone, and I ended up having to sit separately with Michelle because Michelle wants to go to the bathroom. So that really sucked. But yeah, I watched the whole show, and it was amazing. It was insane. It was such a weird experience. People were like screaming at the film and throwing things. No, people didn't throw things, but like people were screaming, and there were like props and stuff. It's like a stage play and a film happening at the same time, and it's so surreal. And it's so like it's like the kind of movie where if you're in a terrible mood, it's going to really piss you off. But if you're in a good mood and if you're really into this sort of thing, it's going to be a blast. And I think it's really cool. I see its appeal. But yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I didn't see. Apparently, Colin and Anya were there. Like they said on the Discord that they'll be there, and I was like, "Fun fact, I'm gonna be there too." And then I never see them. But maybe that's for the better. I wouldn't. I don't know. Michelle's like completely separated from that USC sphere, so. Yeah. So we drove back home, and then I and Michelle just stayed in the car and talked for a whole hour. I mean, we do have a lot to catch up on, but it's really late and I was really tired. Also, during the Q&A with Tim Curry in the Academy Museum, I was also falling asleep. But yeah, it was great seeing Tim Curry. It was so amazing. But yeah, it was fun, and now I really want to sleep earlier tonight. If I can, I will. I'm like doing laundry right now, and it's so fucking crazy because it's like 2 a.m. in the morning and I'm doing laundry, but I feel bad that I'm disturbing my roommates, but I have to because I've been meaning to do the laundry for the last 3-4 fucking days and I can never do it because either someone else is using it or I'm fucking busy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm seeing Giant tomorrow. I don't know. She's worsening my trust. I trust people less now because of her. Yeah. But yeah, gonna wake up at like 7:50 tomorrow, I think. Yeah. So probably gonna go to bed like right now. Didn't really have much food either. Only slept for 3 hours. I had lunch at 6 p.m. I'm so fucked. Oh yeah. The therapist said she's gonna ask for a psychiatrist to evaluate me. And that sounds really bad, but it's really not that bad. That's only because I mentioned to her that I have sleeping issues sometimes, and it affects my mood. So that alone is enough for a psychiatrist to step in and maybe recommend me some medication that could maybe help me. So I'm like, sure. I think I'm pretty open-minded to therapy, and again, there's this like, I think I'm like giving in. Like, for a while, I was like, I don't need therapy. I'm just gonna let my negativity ruminate. But at some point, it's just like I just can't do it. But yeah, it's so interesting. Like talking to my therapist about like my life issues, but with a totally straight face. Like talking to her about my suicidal thoughts, and she asked me like, "What is your method of choice?" You know, and I'm like, sleeping pills. And I talked about how, you know, a friend of mine, like Natalie, talked about, you know, sleeping pills versus hanging versus slitting wrists, you know, and how my past, you know, secondary school life affected my life here and how it sort of carries over. And I feel like I'm only scratching the tip of the iceberg. Like my sadness and my anguish stems from so much, but at the same time, when I air it all out, it doesn't seem like it's that much. And yet I say all of these things to her with a straight face. I'm just like, yeah, you know, I thought about killing myself, sure, you know. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be tough. I don't even have time to watch Flowers of Evil. I barely have time for anything. Oh, and I also got rejected from Asian World Film Festival. Apparently there were 130 submissions, which is not a lot. I thought there would be 1,000. But yeah, not making it to, despite being in one of the 130 is tough. But I kind of expected it. They emailed me personally because I emailed them personally. So at least that's good. But yeah. Yeah, but that's it. That's all. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, our time now is 7:57. 7:58 a.m. on September 27th. Yes. I slept from 3:30 a.m. to 7:35. But or 3:15 to 7:35, and I went back to bed for 10 more minutes. I'm so sleepy. Oh my god. It's like, yeah, I'm so tired. At least I went to bed earlier than 4. That's a progress. But tonight I'm gonna try to go to bed at 2 a.m. for real. And then after tomorrow, Monday, I can sleep. I just need to get past these 2 days. Yeah. I also have the laundry. Still haven't taken them up yet, so I'm gonna do that. My god. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope I have time to sleep on set. Like, if the set is already kind of built, then there really isn't much I can do other than small things. So theoretically, today should be chill. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna try to go to bed at 2 a.m. tonight. Yeah.
Oh god. Oh.
shadow on his face.
You say speeding first and accent?
Yeah, but I'm waiting for Octavia.
Right there.
Yeah. Can you see me? I'm moving.
Yeah, I see you.
How do I look?
You look like Stardust. Owen.
Which I don't know if those makeup bags we bought, like those like tan ones that we bought, I don't think they ever arrived. So I don't know what we're gonna do. We still have time. Yeah. No.
Me when the meat is hidden.
No, that's me. I think it's like
How I
brown.
feel when what the?
Oh, that stands.
Whoa, a little ear scratch. Okay, okay.
That was fire.
Whoa, walk out of focus like a villain, like a Disney villain. Okay.
9.427.
That lines up with our telemetry. Thank you for your help. I know it's not your department.
Camera?
Willie.
Kelsey! We can lift them up, Joe.
Coming up. Bring him up. Hold for a reframe.
Does that look like it's cutting less on the monitor?
We can't actually see her right now.
What? What the hell? Okay, it's 1:34 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, today. Whoa, beans. Yeah, I slept for maybe about 4 hours or 4.5. Yeah, I think nearly 4.5. I'd say 4 hours and 20 minutes. And I went back to bed twice. I had to do a double sleep back. I went back to bed for 10 more minutes. I went back to bed for 8 more minutes. And my bed just feels so soft and warm and cozy every morning. Yeah, I eventually left and I had to run a little bit to catch the bus. And, yeah, arrived on set. And it's another day. Today's day 3 of Starman, but to me it feels like day 7 or 8. I feel like I've been stuck on this project for a long time already. Maybe it's because there's a rehearsal shoot, and then there's like a build day last Saturday, and also yesterday, Friday, and also all the other days I helped out in the garage. It feels like I've been working on this project for a long time. So I'm like, damn. So yeah, again, another 12 hours on the soundstage, just grinding and grueling. This time it's nowhere near as intense and as stressful as last weekend, even though the build today was rather complicated. It was 15 flats, and just, well, so far it's not 15, so far it's just like 12 flats, but we'll be adding 3 more tomorrow morning. But yeah, today the first 2 hours was just final touches, sort of like drilling in things, and I was assigned to, I wasn't even assigned, I just saw an empty flat and I was like, okay, let me dress this flat. So me and this other black girl, Chloe, I don't know, I should say her full name, but I don't know a lot of Chloe, so I'll just say Chloe. Chloe, this black girl, we worked on this flat together, and I remember first time meeting her in Rock and Riley, and I was like, oh, she's one of those like ultra extroverts, like super accomplished. But she's quite nice, and we brainstormed, we figured out cool ways to dress the flat, even though at the end, the other girl, Liv, basically tore most of it down and was like, that looks like shit. But yeah, we brainstormed, and it was fun. I made a fake cabinet, and yeah, I talked to her a little bit. She speaks a bit of French, and because she goes like, "Et voilà, je pas," or something like that, like randomly, which is so funny. And then I was like, "Oh, you speak French?" And she's like, "Yeah, my family is from Côte d'Ivoire." And I'm like, "Oh, interesting." And she's like, "Yeah, it's beside Ghana." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know where Côte d'Ivoire is. I know my geography. Yes, I know." So, yeah, intriguing, I guess. So, I, yeah, at some point, Jaeyoung was like, Enoch, and I turned around, and Jaeyoung was like, this needs more wires. And then he just walks away, and I'm like, bruh, the DP's roasting me. And turns out it's not the first time he did it. Yesterday, he did it to Sydney as well, where he's like, I think this needs more wires, and I'm not even on the PD team. But like, it's not as simple as just putting wires on. First of all, the thing itself doesn't even look like a space station, let's be honest here. But I know Jordan and Kira already tried their best, so great. But the truth is, that flat, because so many other flats are already jam-packed with wires and cables and motherboards and electronics, I want the flat I'm working on to be the quirky special one that doesn't have a lot of wires and has other weirder stuff. So I put more consideration into thinking. Also, I think this is one of the rare times where, as a art department, I'm not just lifting things. I'm actually thinking and brainstorming and creating things. And Chloe's an associate producer. She doesn't know much about PDing. And when I kind of did the set building, I was like trying to lead her, and she's like impressed. She's like, oh, that's PD. Ooh, I like that. Ooh. Like, I figured out cool ways, like adding handles and using tape and, drilling. And, I think I did a pretty decent job. I think yesterday when I and Michelle were in the car right outside of this apartment, Michelle was like, you need to be more aggressive, like on set especially. And I hate that. I agree. I feel very meek on set and just in life in general. And a lot of people think I'm a freshman because of how like, ooh, haha, hoo hoo, I feel like, and also my skinny physique. And I'm really insecure about that, as you can probably tell. So, yeah, so it's good to, so I try to be more serious on set. I try to lead a little more, I try to be more comfortable with the environment. But yeah, it's so crazy. I've been working in the gym for like a month already. I know I've been busy lately, and I'm only going once per week. But still, it feels like not a lot of progress has been made. I think it's also diet thing, and sleep, of course. Duh. Huge issue. But yeah, anyways, that's that. There's this new PA, Swing, and he's not even SCA, he's Annenberg, and he's this cool guy with like a cool haircut, and he sees me in the beside the crafty table, and he's like, you seem like a cool guy, you seem like you're a frat boy, you'd be perfect for Teak, which is notoriously known as the craziest, most fuckest, most hypersexual, hyper-partying frat house in USC. And I know he's being sarcastic. I know he's like laughing at me. I'm like, but instead of fighting back, I'm just like, haha. Because I was so tired. But I should have fought back. I should have been like, yeah, I am in that frat. You're right. And then, just kidding. Like, play around with him a little bit. He's probably younger than me. And again, he acts so cool, and he's like, tight shirt. And I'm like, just don't do this, man, please. But yeah, it was mostly, I didn't have an angry moment today. I think that moment where that guy, like, sort of mocked me was probably the worst moment. And it's interesting because of the therapy session yesterday, I got myself thinking, why did I feel inferior? Why did I feel insecure about this? And also the fact that I didn't really act on that insecurity. Like, I didn't throw a temper tantrum or anything. Like, I'm kind of used to it, honestly. But yeah, we built and built and built, and before lunch, we just kept building and building. On next to the set we're building, they're filming the space scenes. And yeah, and then we had lunch. We had lunch a little earlier than the rest. Like the PD team had lunch earlier than the rest, and the lunch was so rudimentary. It was just some pasta and a garlic bread. A chunk of garlic bread? I don't know. A small chunk. And it was very basic, and I felt hungry soon after. But yeah, we continued dressing the set post-lunch, and then after that, it's just nothing. And I'm just sitting around looking at my phone, and I ended up talking to a bunch of people. Oh yeah, as I was finishing building the set for the lab module, several things happened. First of all, we had to move this huge wooden chunk of thing to make it look like a lab module, a console. So basically like a computer thing. And the plan was to drill it onto the wall and let it just hang there. But the thing is, it's impossible. This wooden thing is heavy as fuck. So some people immediately put plywood underneath, and it was so hectic. At some point, I slipped my hand under the wood, and then someone dragged out the apple box under it and scratched my finger, and my finger started bleeding. It hurt, but like I didn't even care that much. I'm like, oh, it's bleeding. And before I even say that, Sydney was like, oh, you're bleeding. There's a first aid kit. And I'm like, where? She's like, back beside the elephant door. And I'm like, okay. So I band-aided myself, and then I continued working. And then there's also a lot of these rectangular lights, and they're so fucking annoying because there are rectangular holes cut through the flats. And then there's these diffusion paper and foil paper to make it look like a light. And the gaffer is not happy with the light spilling out. So we had to make sure it's like tight, and also the foil and the diffusion paper look flat. So I made it flat, but it's impossible because somehow the hole is too big and the foil paper is too small. So I brainstormed, and Giant started helping, and there are several moments where Giant's pushing the tape and the foil paper towards me from outside, and I'm pushing back in from the inside, and we're just touching fingers. That's so fucking random. But I was also working with this other black girl, Kristana, I think that's her name, on that. So that was a while. But yeah, after that, it was just chill. That was the most I've interacted with Giant all day. At the end of the day, near the end of the day, I wanted to like talk to Giant in the crafty, beside the crafty, and she didn't even fucking hear me. And Colin, her white twink boyfriend, showed up to the rescue. And then at the end of the day, Giant, I think she said, how are you? Or like, how's everything? Are you good? And I can't really hear what she said, so I just said hello, and then I just left. And that's it. But yeah, I think most of all today, I spoke with Seda, the Armenian girl, because she's like a huge cinephile, and I like talking to cinephiles. But also, just I think I kind of figured out that we come from the same community college, which is crazy coincidence. But we sat down and we talked, and we actually talked quite a bit. I asked her about screenings, and then we talked about, and she hates Crucio. I hate Crucio. She only took 31. She skipped 32, 33. But apparently, after she got into USC, she came up to Crucio and told Crucio, and Crucio took her out of the classroom and told her that USC sucks. And it's very discouraging. So yeah, that's very hilarious. And then aside from that, yeah, we just talked a lot. And then Liv joined in the conversation. Liv, who is Olivia, short for Olivia, she looks really mean, but I guess I talked with her a little more. She baked this gluten-free, sugar-free chocolate cake, and it tasted like ass, but she was like, oh, it's really fucking good. and I also tasted a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, it's good. But yeah, we talked a little bit, and then that's pretty much it. Not much else. I talked about my script, like, I overheard John Kim asking for John for help, because John Kim's writing, like, a romance script for 480, like a one-on-one romance, but there's a twist, you know. Ooh, Asian love, you know, whatever the fuck. And John's like, do you want to go for a walk? Or I think John Kim said that, I don't know, but they went out for a walk. Walk and talk, a little heart-to-heart about writing and creating a story. I want to do that with Jayun, but the thing is, A, there's this Jayun problem, right? B, my story is literally about her. And today I was also brainstorming what to do with my story, and I feel kind of stuck. I feel like my story just isn't that interesting, even though on the surface it is, but it's not interesting me. It's not capturing me. So yeah, I don't know. And then I think the big revelation, I talked with Seda about this a little bit, is that when I submit the scripts to 480, it's anonymous, which is great. So they're not biased. But after they announce the shortlist, or the finalists, our names will be announced. And then the students get to choose. I had no idea. I had no idea that it's the students who get to choose from the 21 or 20 finalists which 4 they want. So the fact that Jayun got chosen is even more impressive, because Jayun made the finalist because her script is damn good. But Jayun actually made it to the final because people love her. So that's threatening, and that's a huge problem for me. Obviously, I'm not expecting to actually get to the final, but if I want to try, I will have to get people to vote for me. Because I told Seda, oh, I'm not going to tell people. And Seda's like, no, but you should, because students get to vote. And I'm like, what? And, yeah, so instead of being passive and just socializing on this set, now I need to make an effort to advertise my script to 450 students, not 480. Because it would be the 450 students who vote. So that's fucking crazy. So yeah, we'll see what's up. Of course, it's also about quality, but again, it's like the reason why Charlie Gorman's script was chosen was because of Reese Zemeckis and Reese's whole friend group sort of like going in on it, and then Jayun's script was chosen because of Octavian. Like, it's all fucking coordinated. The reason why it looks so perfect, like, oh, of course Octavian and Jayun are paired together, is because, like, you know, it was orchestrated. When the finalists were announced, you know, people were just forming groups. So again, this means I have to be ultra popular to get my script chosen, which basically is a no, but I should at least try. So there's that. And then that's basically it for today. I'm insanely sleepy. I kind of want to go to bed at 2 a.m., but that's literally 10 minutes later. I'm probably going to drink a can of small Coca-Cola. I'm really thirsty. And tomorrow, most of the day tomorrow is going to be nice because the set is kind of already built and I'm just chilling around. But the wrap is going to be tough as hell because we're moving all these flats back. And I lost my grip gloves again because Sydney has it and then Sydney lost it. But somehow Kira found it, so I have it again. So that's that. That's it. I guess the last thing I'll talk about is like the weird cams hate. Like when Liv found out that I'm in cams, and then when another grip guy found out that I'm in cams, they were like, "Oh, well, how are you liking it?" And they asked this question, and this question seems harmless, but there's this undertone of, "Oh, cams is like a dumb major. Like, how are you liking it?" And I can't blame them. Production is cooler, but I hate that among production students, cams has this stigma of like overanalyzing things and critical theory, but the truth is I don't even see films that way. I don't see films and go, the door is blue because it represents depression. Like, I see movies because I enjoy movies. That's the bottom line. So I just hate the stigma, and that's that. But yeah, you know, I gotta start advertising my script ideas. I gotta talk to Brandon Wu about this. I know he's gonna be a bit of a player. I don't know. I need to know who are the popular 450s. The thing is, I don't know because I didn't go to 310 screenings last semester, and the 310s last semester are the 450s this semester, are the 480s next semester, right? So I need to know who the 450s are, who the famous 450s are. Yeah. But again, I barely stand a chance. But if I can get into finalists, I'm already super duper happy. But yeah, we'll see. And yeah, that's pretty much it. After tomorrow, I'm done. I'm done for the weekend, and Monday it would be a bit more chill. So looking very forward. Another interesting thing, just side note, Kira, she's so fucking pissed. No, so after Jang roasted me, I told Kira and Jordan, and Jordan was like, just tell him to fuck off, you know. And then a little bit later, we found out that the grips are using up all our tape, and Kira's like, I'm gonna fucking kill them. I'm gonna kill them. I'm so mad. The whole tape is gone. And there's a huge gaff tape, like huge piece that's just hanging there. It could have been used somewhere else, but it was just hanging there, and Kira was so mad. And I love how no matter what set I'm on, PD is always the underdog for some reason. So yeah, that's hilarious. So